What is going on YouTube? Hayden Schreier making another brand new Crypto TV episode. In today's video, we're going to be looking at XRP, Ethereum, Bitcoin, as well as Litecoin. More specifically, we're going to be focusing in on a couple of things. We're going to be looking at a potentially mysterious pattern forming on XRP and Bitcoin that I would like to discuss in reference to an article here that I have, which talks about potentially seeing Bitcoin yearly candles hint explosive price growth incoming. This is huge. This is interesting. It's a bunch of stuff that I do want to discuss in today's videos. Otherwise, if you guys are new to the channel, definitely make sure to subscribe, turn on post notifications, leave a giant thumbs up, and let's jump into today's episode. So guys, after a long journey, yes, a Bitcoin crypto video is coming out late for today, mainly because I just spent the past, I think, 8.5 hours driving from Long Island all the way to Rochester, basically where my college is. And actually I saw a lot of you, a couple of comments in regards to seeing me actually on the highway in my altcoin Audi, which is pretty cool. So definitely an interesting thing. Hopefully you guys like my previous videos in regards to the different setup that I had. Now I have half my equipment up here and half my equipment down there, so I made it work. But otherwise the video is coming out. Let me know about the quality down below. I'm noticing I look semi-yellow. I don't know if that's a setting that I must have changed on my camera or whatnot. I'll definitely be checking this out afterwards. But otherwise, to jump into today's episode, we're going to be looking at where we left off yesterday, and then in regards to discussing what I had planned for today. You can see yesterday we talked about, will tomorrow be the big day for XRP? This was a question that I had. I was noticing a lot of videos coming out on YouTube talking about regards to today and tomorrow being the days when this big crypto breakout was going to happen within XRP and following, and I went into specifics in that video as towards today and tomorrow will not be those days that we see this massive rally, but we are leading towards a big break that is coming within these cryptocurrencies. So I wanted to spend some time on that as well. More specifically, I do want to discuss this article here as well as go into some technical analysis. So we're going to start off with the technical analysis and then go into this article and kind of how that references both. So you'll notice on Bitcoin right now what exactly we're referring to. As you can see, we've had a trend ever since 2019, the beginning of 2019. For those of you who have been subscribed to the channel know that we've been tracking this, and you'll notice that this has been a year which we've seen major highs as well as retracing back down to levels which aren't necessarily to all-time lows or previous lows. We're currently floating at around 73.65, which isn't necessarily a bad price range. Now, how does this tie into the technical analysis and more specifically this article here? So basically we know that there's 2 years of upside. Bitcoin yearly candles hint explosive price growth incoming. So what are they referring to? So basically it's saying despite admittedly meager sample size, it's saying that the market cap looks poised to post 2 more years of upside. Bitcoin price, when viewed as a yearly candlestick chart, appears to be repeating a pattern of 3 years of upside followed by a year of losses. Given that Bitcoin is such a young asset, there have only been 2 of these 4-year cycles to observe so far. That said, the first candle on the third looks to be falling in the pattern with just over 4 weeks left in the year, providing the price stays above $3,800 and the pattern will stay intact, which I do think will happen. You can see as I zoom in on this Bitcoin charts Bitcoin on Twitter, you'll see the interesting pattern that's forming. You can see right now that it's followed by, what's interesting is 3 years of upside followed by 1 year of downside within a 4-year pattern. You can see the first 3 are to the upside, the second one is to the downside. You can see we just recently had this bear market right here the previous year, and now we're expected to see higher moves. And you can see they also base this percentage-wise, which looks great. You can see the percentage gains each year, which is 1,400, 189%, 5,400%. We see 60% retracement, 34, 125, 13.5, and we see a 70% retracement and 98. This is closing very soon. We have the remainder of December before we see a break to the upside. So come 2020, we may be seeing and expecting even higher movements to the upside. So this may be a huge indicator that the symmetrical triangle may actually break bullish that's forming on Bitcoin. Now, as I scroll down, you can see a couple of other things along with the pattern of 3 up and 1 down. You'll notice this one right here is also referring to somebody called 100 trillion USD is referencing the same patterns you can see right here, followed by retracements, breaks up to the upside. And you'll notice what he's referring to is you'll notice the color candles that he's charting. You can see right here, when we're at the bottom, you'll notice it goes light blue, dark blue, red indicates the retracement to the upside or a break correction to the upside. Light blue, dark blue, correction to the upside in red. Light blue, dark blue, we're looking for that correction to the upside in red. But he's also referencing that we may see a little bit more blue candlesticks followed by that a red that we're looking for, an orange that signify bullish moves to the upside. Now, obviously, you guys know I titled the video XRP. So why am I referring to XRP and not actually mentioning this? Well, let me tell you this in a second. First, I want to give a huge shout out to today's sponsor, which is, of course, Bitmin, guys. Bitmin has been a huge sponsor on the channel and a huge support on the channel for quite some time now, actually since, I believe, February of 2019. So basically, for those of you who don't know what Bitmin is they're a digital diamond. It's an asset that you can actually collect on online, and it's not an actual physical diamond. It's a digital one that you can hold and grows value over time, because these are one of one based off of blockchain technology, which is awesome. The Ethereum blockchain technology. For that instance, you can see I have quite a bit of Bitmins right here that you can see. You can see previously these are ones that have been purchased in February of 2019, and you can see that since then they have grown substantially and exponentially, 1800%, 1400, 1100, 1500, 1500, 1800, 2000%. So they have grown substantially. They grow quite a bit, and it's as simple as clicking sell, which gets them posted to the marketplace and sold. And I know a bunch of you, my subscribers, have actually taken advantage of this and have sold off their Bitmins, and they get cashed out in PayPal. So you can see I actually just have another one right here that was purchased November 29th, and you can see that was literally just 3 days ago, and it's already grown 28% off a $10 Bitmin. It is now $12.81. Basically, you can purchase Bitmins at $10 a piece, or you can buy one of ones which are on the marketplace. These are my Bitmins, and you can see the growth here. Also, if you guys want to check out new updating news, definitely make sure to follow them on their Facebook page at Bitmins, and you can see they post quite a bit and quite often news articles in reference to potential different things happening on their site. So definitely check this out. You can see there's tons of Bitmins generated. There's a limited supply, and there's a bunch of different information posted here. So definitely give that a shout as well. Otherwise, to continue off of my charting in regards to XRP. So as we know, we're looking for an upside, another year entering 2020 of a bullish break. You can see on Bitcoin, this pretty much ends, and it's so odd that the symmetrical triangle tends to end right at the end of the 2019 cycle, entering 2020. So we may be entering 2020 in a major bullish breakout, which is pretty much setting the bar fairly high. If it's anything like 2019, which started and then eventually ran up, ending at around June, we had a major bull market and a major swing to the upside. Now we're preparing ourselves here on KryptonTV, for those of you who are following, with something called DueDEX. DueDEX is a way for us to actually track and trend, leverage trade, buy, sell, long, short cryptocurrency, more specifically Bitcoin. They will be adding other cryptocurrencies soon, but I don't even know why this is loading. It's actually it's pissing me off. But in regards to XRP, why I like to reference XRP with Bitcoin is because they tend to trade very, very, very similarly on the current coin market cap. You can see the coins have pretty much been almost identical in regards to price movement. You can see right here, very similar to XRP's movement. The charts are almost identical. So with that being said, if we do see a breakout within Bitcoin, it will ultimately affect the price of XRP. You also notice this massive descending triangle forming on XRP, which will also tend to break bullish if we do see that same movement within Bitcoin. So this chart that we saw on here, the 2-year, this chart ultimately does affect both XRP as well as Bitcoin. Even though it's referring to Bitcoin, it does also reference XRP. So if we do see that movement within Bitcoin, expect to see the same thing within XRP. If we set those aside and focus specifically on XRP, we will know a couple of things. One is that we're ending a descending triangle. This may end, which would be fairly similar to Bitcoin in the fact that if we stay above 20 cents, which will be huge, we will tend to see a breakout coming towards the end or mid of January. Now, if this does not hold, we will ultimately see a retestment of around 16 cents on XRP, which will ultimately once again lead to a breakout. If things do tend to break to the upside, it really will not matter when you buy in from now till the end. We may see a short-term retracement or correction to the upside, which will ultimately leave us at around 26 cents to 25 cents, but then ultimately retesting or correcting back down lower around 26 cents, and then falling down lower right here, and then most possibly a 16 cent bottom. That is the bottom, rock bottom, that we could see Now, I actually do think the next couple of days we will see some potential upside and swings to the upside within XRP due to the fact that we're seeing a bullish cross right now on the MACD indicators. So we may actually see a swing to around 26 cents, a retestment of the downtrend. This could ultimately lead to a breakout, but we could be anticipating to see some sort of run. So how would you guys take advantage of this market right here and this price? We can then reference Bitcoin because we know those are similar. You can see the daily is starting to see a bullish cross on the MACD as well. And then we would know that we could then go on to DueDEX and we can leverage trade our position, which is making our original investment quite a lot more. If we invested $100 and we leveraged it 10, well, 100 times 10 is 1,000, so we would have $1,000 to play around with. Times 100 would be 10,000, so $10,000 to play around with. You're basically borrowing money, and it could set yourself negative if you do decide to make a poor trade. And I will be making a video eventually more specifically focusing on DueDEX in the future, but for right now, that's pretty much the plan. So in regards to when I will be investing, it's going to be fairly soon. It's going to be in reference to when we decide to trade a little bit closer to the high-low middle moving average. We could probably even reference the 4-hour for right now on Bitcoin, and then we'll wrap up today's video. But you can see right now within Bitcoin on its symmetrical triangle, you can see that we're pretty much coming to an end right now. We're hitting a resistance. You can see this downtrend right here has been holding fairly well. It looks like it wants to head lower. There's still definitely a chance of seeing a $6,900 retestment on Bitcoin. But for right now, I'm going to consider waiting off on DueDEX for right now. Even though these coins look good, I'm going to consider waiting off because I do think we're going to head lower. I mean, we could short this on its way down, but based off of this MACD indicator, it looks like it does want to see some sort of retestment, some sort of bullish cross, but we'll find out on the 4-hour. So I'm keeping my focus in. I'm waiting a little bit for some sort of potential to invest when I know 100% that we're going to make some money. So it will be soon, and obviously I'll update you guys on that as well. Otherwise, if you guys are new to the channel, definitely make sure to subscribe, turn on post notifications, leave a giant thumbs up, and I'll see you in tomorrow's episode. Peace.